energies that were going opposite directions, but really propelling you. And I hope that you really felt it. I'm gonna wait. I know I forgot to send out a reminder. I'm so sorry. It has been really crazy with everything that's been going on with Ruby, but she's doing very well. She's doing really good. And I want to remind you that we do have that full moon in Sagittarius that's coming up next week. That's going to be very nice, very exciting. So really excited for that. It's happening the same day that Venus is conjuncting Jupiter. As you know, that happened. That's the only time that's going to happen this year. We're just coming out of the Sun conjuncting Jupiter yesterday. So really excited to hear your stories about that. And remember, it's just, there's if nothing actually happened, there's something charging up for you now. There's something charging up for you now. And there's some new things that are about to happen for you. So, and then it's this thread, and then you see this other thread that's happening as well with all the Pluto trines that are about to happen very soon. I think, what is the next one? Well, we're on the brink of Gemini season. That's tomorrow. And then happy birthday, all Geminis. We have Jupiter moving into Gemini. There's so much happening that's still happening in May that I hope that you're excited for. We have Venus trining Pluto at the end of the month, but we're here to talk about June. There's a lot happening in June. And I definitely don't want to repeat a lot of the same things that I have done or for your June forecast. Good morning, good afternoon, Danielle, Star. Look at all that Libra energy. Okay, so here's the thing about June. Let me just pull up my notes. There is going to be, we're officially in Gemini season, all right? So it's going to be the Sun, Venus, and they're so close together, the Sun and Venus, the two, and Jupiter, the two benefics, Jupiter being the greater benefic. So you're going to feel a lot more social. I hope, good morning, Carla. I hope a lot of you are feeling more social. You will soon. And I try to break that down a little bit more in your monthly forecast for June. When I say social, that can just be really, it is all about communication. So it can be social in a work capacity with your colleagues. It could be with, if you're buying a house, like talking to others about it. There is just communication that's going to be highlighted for you. Especially with Gemini. And Jupiter moving into Gemini is going to really expand that. Jupiter is like your world expanding. It's going to be really, really nice. And one other thing that I just want to clarify about Jupiter and Gemini, which is going to happen this week, but for an entire year until June 2025, Jupiter is actually detriment in Gemini, but it's still going to bring all that expansion and luck and good fortune and those areas of your chart. So it really is something that think about just ideas and communication and intellect. A lot of you may see a lot more happening with social media. There's going to be people are going to have things to say. People are going to be more communicative. We will be growing through communication. So keep that in mind. That is going to be a thing to look forward to. There is also in June, we do have our big shift. When I do Western astrology, and so we don't use a precession of the equinox. So, basically all the seasons are big the day of the season. So we officially enter summer on June 20th, okay? We enter summer June 20th in the Northern Hemisphere. Can you even hear me? Oh my goodness, I don't even have my mic over here. And then we enter winter for the Southern Hemisphere. But regardless, it is this big shift that starts happening mid-June. So one other thing before we get to June, two things you'll notice is that I'm doing this a little bit earlier because for two reasons. One, I am just going to get really busy toward the end of May, and I really wanted to make sure that I got your monthly forecast out. So they're actually going to go out this week. Okay. So your monthly forecast for June, and it is a loaded month. There's so much happening in June. But the other thing is that the first week of June is so it's like brimming with all these crazy abundant energies and aspects that I wanted to make sure that I did your weekly reading for June when I could have time for it, because the monthly forecasts are long, as you know. They're very long. I try to keep them short, but some of them you'll notice they're just long. They're just long. But there's a lot but there's so much happening in June. So because I'm skipping next week's, so it would be like the last week of May that I'm not doing. I'm doing your monthly forecast instead. There were only two aspects that I wanted I talked about in your monthly forecast for May. All right. And that would be Mercury sextiling Saturn. If you want to write that down or put it in your calendar, that's going to be very nice. That's going to happen Monday, May 27th, and where you just may feel like you could even have a conversation around that time that you're thinking more long term, right? With Saturn at play here, and sextiles are very harmonious, and there could be something that you're really committing to around this time, and really putting your energy out there, even thinking about things about your future in terms of like more structure to it. And then also on Thursday, May 30th, we have Mercury conjuncting Uranus. So we have another conjunction. And so this is great. Remember, Uranus is all about breakthroughs and so surprises, the unexpected. Mercury, communication, logic, thinking. So you could have this mental breakthrough. It could be very stimulating for you. You could be doing a lot of creative work around this time. You could also just have a breakthrough in some areas of your life. You could receive unexpected messages that come out of the blue. There's so much that could happen this day with this conjunction. Also, like, very spontaneity is kind of like a key word that comes up with Mercury conjuncting Uranus. And so it really is, what is it, like spoken word? I feel I'm getting that vibe. I don't know if it's almost like, I don't know. I remember during the pandemic, I watched America's Got Talent, and that, like, years ago, and that one person won for, like, he was like a spoken word, like, poetry, kind of like that. Anybody have any questions so far? Again, I apologize for not sending out a reminder message. It has been one of those months. Anybody have any fun stories from this thread of the Jupiter Uranus, the Sun conjunct Jupiter, Venus conjuncting Uranus? I had some really exciting things happen yesterday, but yeah, but let's talk about June. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Okay, so if you have any questions, just let me know. Let me know if you got any questions. And again, with June, I'm going to try to do it without repeating what things I say in your monthly forecast. Okay. But like I said, it is a month where you could feel that you're having a lot of communications right away. Okay. Right away. Gemini is just such a social, curious, open-minded, creative, self-expressive sign. It's just very flirty too, and it's a time where you could be pursuing a lot of conversations that you have to have. You could be thinking about your future a lot more in this, like, very, just like, really, really now, like, okay, let me, like, drop everything to think about this and really move the needle in terms of what you want moving forward. It's a very social. When I say social, remember, Venus is also in Gemini. Venus is like, Gemini is a social butterfly, right? Venus loves being social as well. So really, when I say social, you will feel that. And I encourage you to be social. It doesn't, if you're not a people person, it doesn't mean, you can do it on Zoom. You can do it on, through DMs. You can do it on social media. Just communicate. And one reason why is, and I bring it up in some of your readings for June, is that when you communicate, you open doors, you build bonds, you build bridges. Just I would put that energy out there. I would put that energy out there. We have all these planets supporting you right now in terms of that. So it's really, really, really nice. Now, there's a lot of there's nearly 30 aspects in June. So I know that I'm going to talk about the best days for you to mark down. There's just so many. All right. So I'm going to do the best of the best. But then also, June is unlike May. June is also one of the best month of the year. May was like the best month because the shift is moving you in a whole new direction. Okay. Now, June, there are some squares. Okay. And that's going to happen mid-month, and we'll talk about that. We will definitely talk about that. And then, of course, we move into Cancer season on the day of the summer solstice, okay, and winter okay, the on the 20th, depending on where you live in this world. But I'm here in Brooklyn, so Eastern Standard Time. Convert it wherever you live, but it is going to be a more so the first half of the month, very social, going out there, meeting people, communicating, and then we shift into Cancer season. So happy birthday, Cancers. It's a big time for you as well. Cancer season is really interesting because just a few days before we actually even get to Cancer season, you've got Mercury moving into Cancer and Venus moving into Cancer on the 17th. Okay, so just 3 days before. So by the time we get to Cancer season, you already have Mercury and Venus there. So it's really nice. This is lovely energy, and Cancer rules the fourth house. So a lot of attention on home and family matters, your domestic sector, things that have to do with home for everyone. For everyone, there could be some emphasis there. There could also be some. Cancer is such a feminine watery sign, and it's nurturing. Okay, a lot of love energy, a lot of like home is where the heart is energy as well. So that's going to be very loving, very loving. This once we move into Cancer season, June 20th. So, but yeah, there are. Why don't we start off with the best days that I want you to write down, okay, in your calendar and mark it down. Mark it down. Is everybody ready? Okay, so we immediately. Okay, and so this is what's really great. Uh remember, we have so many conjunctions happening, we have so many things happening at the end of May, and so you will definitely still, I just feel like for everyone, by the time we start June, you may be in a different place in your life, okay, and an area in your life that's very different as well, or the way that you're pushing yourself into moving into a certain area, opening doors, making things happen for you. All right, it's going to be something that you will feel toward the end of May. Now, the energies of May spill over into June, okay? Like the first, like 10 days of June, which is very, very nice. So you still have all that energy. But we kick off June with the first aspect on June 2nd, and that's Jupiter trining Pluto. So mark those in your calendar. I feel like you're a teacher or something. Mark them in your calendar. So Jupiter obviously expands. Jupiter is all about abundance. It's good fortune. It's prosperity. It's profit. Okay, it's your beliefs. It's faith. The greater benefit. Okay. Now it's trining Pluto. Trines are really auspicious. They're really, really good. They're really, really, really nice. Just really, speaking of pushing the needle, it really pushes the needle. So that's going to be very nice. And Pluto, all about empowerment, but you have to see it as in everything Pluto represents. So there could be, Pluto is uh other people's money, shared resources. So there could be something with money here, something with money. It's a big money day if you're here for that. Okay, Jupiter trining Pluto on June 2nd, really big money day if you're here for that. Pluto, when I say other people's money, that's shared resources, that's maybe joining bank accounts with someone, is inheritance. Okay, investments will likely be a very big thing for everyone the first week, okay, of June. And even not, if you're not here for, again, money or in a financial sense, like things that you're wanting to invest in. But it's also intimacy. All right. So this is just, it is one of the biggest money days, the way that, the way that it's playing out. So really, really, really nice. Jupiter trining Pluto. So remember, we're already coming out of all these Pluto trines in May. So it's this story that's still being told. All right, throughout, you're gonna feel a big emphasis in the first half of June. Hi, Maha. Ruby's doing great. Thanks so much. She is. Is she? You can't see her. Wait. Oh wait, this way. There she is. Do you see her? I can't. Let me just move my. Ruby, say hi to everybody. She's doing great. Thank you so much for asking. She is, and that was another interesting thing about yesterday with what's been happening with Ruby. And I don't know if I did a community post, like she has a herniated disc, which just came out of nowhere. Well, it came out of the full moon in Scorpio is what happened. So she's been on this treatment plan. Not She can only walk 10 minutes a day, and she's sleeping a lot. She's on proper medication, bed rest, things like that. So, but so this morning was the first time that she had that energy on the walk to just like, it was like herself, like for the past 2 weeks, just kind of like waddling. And I'm sure you noticed that in, the daily videos that I do. But today was like boom, boom, boom. I was like, okay, this is a great time. But thank you so much for asking. Okay, so the second best day, it's just 2 days after June 4th. Okay, June 4th, that is going to be a Tuesday. So June 2nd is the Sunday, and then June 4th is Tuesday. There's so much happening on June 4th. It is bonkers. So we have Mercury conjuncting Jupiter. Okay, Mercury trining Pluto. So there could be if is anyone here looking to sign a contract or put something? There's a contract energy. It's, if not, it's like big impact conversations. It's happening in Gemini. I mean, like, remember that it's very social. Like, it's Mercury ruled. And so, and then Mercury trines. Okay, so Mercury conjuncting Jupiter, Mercury trining Pluto that same day, but also the Sun conjuncting Venus. Amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So this is going to be a big day, the 4th. And so I really, 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 really love this day. This is a really great day. Sun conjuncting Venus. It's happening in Gemini. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of y'all are, find yourself like really, really craving mental stimulation, really craving, even falling at like feeling powerfully charged in terms of being intellectually stimulated and falling in love with someone else's mind, or someone else falling in love with your mind, or just falling in love. I mean, it's Venus we're talking about. So I like that energy. That just dropped. Okay. So very creative energy too. That is just really, really special. It's just a very special day. Very, very special day. Okay. Maha, you're holding out a contract. Sign your contracts. This is the month. Well, okay. I'm gonna. Well, we'll get back to that, because let me just continue. Then I'm gonna tell you the squares that are happening this month that you want to avoid signing contracts like mid-month. Okay. So I want to tell you about. Oh, and the other thing. Okay. So on the 6th, we have the new moon in Gemini. All right. This new moon in Gemini is, I mean, come on. This is like, you plant those seeds, set intentions, manifest, do your thing, do your ritual, but break out the crystals, your sage, whatever you have to do. Spend a good hour doing it. Get your Tibetan, singing bowl, ring it all the entire time. Like, it is like you definitely want to set intentions with this new moon. And I say that because we have the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, all in Gemini. Remember, it's still conjuncting Venus, it's still trining Pluto. It is such an excellent new moon. Okay. That's when we start the first square. There is going to be a square, but you're really not going to feel that until like a few days later. But still, you still want to set intentions here. Now, one of the reasons why, and I do say this in your monthly forecast, but I just have to just make it clear here. What I love about what's happening here is, with new moons, you set intentions, new things, new beginnings. It's a new cycle you're launching for yourself. You're putting action out there. You're putting your energy out there. Well, there's always a corresponding full moon after, and so the full moon in Gemini that's happening in December, that one's conjuncting Jupiter. So why would I mean talk about the rewards you're going to reap? I mean, this is a good if you don't set intentions, remember I'm coming over with my crystals. We're going to do a whole thing. We're going to get together and truly get all I don't know, Spice Girls, however you want to do it. And then the other thing about this new moon on June 6th, it really is, the squares start happening right after, so you definitely want to take advantage of this. Any of y'all starting businesses? It's we still have Mars and Aries for the first half until the 8th. Okay. And then look at all this like Gemini energy that's fueling it, and it's just so nice. So a lot of growing businesses and your brand and your profession, and very, because remember Aries is very entrepreneurial. Mars and Aries with the North Node, which is happening today, isn't it? May 19th. Yeah, Mars conjuncting the North Node. Isn't that today? Wow. Another big one. Okay, so one other thing I'm gonna point out. Oh gosh, I'm just gonna show you. This is your calendar for the month. I'm just gonna show you something here. Mars moving into Taurus. That's wrong. That's on the 8th. I forgot to put an 8 there. So it's not happening on the new moon. It's happening on June 8th. Because I say it's happening on the same day of the new moon for a lot of the signs before I catch myself. And it's like, oh gosh, I forgot that 8. Okay, and so Mars does move into Taurus on June 8th. And so that is it's a slowdown, all right? It's a slowdown because Mars in Aries for the first Mars in Aries. Again, Mars is in his domicile. He does his best in Aries, and does really well in Aries. And then when Mars gets to Taurus, Taurus is a little bit more grounded, but more practical and pragmatic. So it's you'll feel like that slowdown, and that's why take advantage of June 1st to the 8th. Take advantage of June 1st to the 8th. But a lot of y'all will like this slowdown. Okay. A lot of y'all will like that. Just, feeling grounded and whatnot. So, okay. So another day that, let's see okay. Another day that, that I really, really, really love. I really love June 17th, and June 17th is when Mercury will conjunct Venus. This is really nice. It's like love letter day. It's like a love letter day. And Mercury conjuncting Venus is going to be happening in Cancer. They're just freshly moving into Cancer. All right. So Mercury and Venus. So this conjunction is happening at 0 degrees. I mean, this is powerful. This is a powerful conjunction. So this is a great one. Again, Cancer, that nurturing side of it is just it's all about compassion. Venus moving into Cancer is, there's that softness there. It feels really great, nurturing. Really, again, like that softness that I really like. very all about kindness. And then Mercury moving into Cancer, that's very like thinking with your heart, your, even like wearing your heart on your sleeve, like that kind of energy. But it happens again like right before the 20th, which is when the sun moves into Cancer. So that's another day that I love. Um, and then I especially love, well, let me just tell you about the full moon in Capricorn. I'm not going to give, I talk more in depth about this full moon in Capricorn um on June 21st. Okay, so that's going to be Friday, June 21st, right after the sun moves into Cancer. So wow, that is definitely going to be we're in Cancer season, full moon in Capricorn. We've got these two cardinal signs. If you want to think about it, like with the North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, that's like hitting all the cardinal signs, that leadership energy. But anyway, this full moon in Capricorn is going to be very unique. I tell you why in your monthly forecast. It's going to be very, very unique. There's a lot of different things happening this day. All right. But just remember, full moons bring culmination to something. Capricorn's all about like that structure. So again, just being more structural, and it's happening, and considering a lot of those things in your life. When I say culmination, like they're full moons illuminate. So you may be seeing things that you're like, okay, I'm going to change this, and this is something that I'm letting go. But it is going to be one that you will definitely feel for a while. Okay, we'll put it that way. I don't want to ruin what's going on, but or give away what I'm saying in what I tell you in your monthly forecast. Now you can also think about around this time, the new moon in Capricorn that we had in the beginning of this year, okay, in January. I think it was January 3rd. Well, what let me like pull that up. Um January 11th. Okay. So any seeds that you planted around that time, anything new that happened in your life around that time, like you could find like a turning point around this time, or like there's one stage of it coming to completion around this time. So think about that. January 11th, like any seeds you planted, anything new that you were doing, again, it's going to resonate differently for everybody, for every different sign, depending on where it is in your chart, where in your in the house that it's in. So that is one to keep in mind. Now the other, and you are likely going to start thinking more about the structures of your life, because Saturn, Capricorn's ruling planet, will go retrograde. All right, that's going to happen. I think it's the last day. Is it? Yeah, well, the 29th, June 29th, Saturn goes retrograde. So the second outer planet this year to go retrograde. They go, it goes retrograde every year. But this is where you will feel that, what are the life lessons I've learned? And you're just going to have those moments. And it comes just right after this full moon in Capricorn. So again, there may be a little bit more emphasis on that for y'all. Okay. Any questions? So, okay, what else? Okay, so another day that I really love, and there was actually a sign that I went back to. I was like, I forgot to mention it, but it's like, they should know about this. June 26th, that is going to be Wednesday when Mercury trines Saturn. Another great day to sign a contract. Saturn is like in it to win it. It is like that commitment energy. Remember all about that structure, about longevity. Mercury, again, there could be something you're signing, a conversation that you have. There is true, like something about commitments here that may resonate with you. Forming alliances, bonds, partnerships, things like that. Okay. So this is just a very, very good day for that. Very auspicious. Um, and then on the 29th, Venus will sextile Mars. So this is Saturday. And you know what happens when Venus and Mars gets together. Sextiles are very harmonious. So just have fun. Just have fun this day. So there's so many other days that I can't even, but those are the main ones. Those are the main ones that I want you to mark in your calendar. Yeah, and then we'll talk more about these in your weekly readings, and of course, I talk about these in your monthly forecasts as well. So just so you know, the first week, even I would even say the first 10 days, first 11 days, first 2 weeks, enjoy it. Enjoy it. Put wheels in motion, feel good about the things that you're doing, and communicate. I can't express that enough. Communicate. The planets are just so supportive right now in terms of that. Now, who wants to hear about the challenging days? Well, so the what makes this month different from May? Remember May has just like one major square. There's obviously with the moon, there's always something, right? But uh June, we do have some squares, and it's going to happen mostly mid-June, and several of them are Saturn squares. So remember, Saturn is starting to be very active starting mid-month. Then we have that full moon in Capricorn. Remember, Saturn is Capricorn's ruling planet. And then Saturn does go retrograde. So it's almost like the things that you learn in like mid-month, you're going to take some time to really process things like, what is the lesson that I had to learn? But through this karmic lens, remember Saturn is also karma. So the biggest square that I want you to be aware of is going to be, it's not even a Saturn square. It will be June 11th. This is going to be Tuesday. Mark this in your calendar. Mars squaring Pluto. Now, these are two very, very powerful planets. I mean, if you want to think like when these two get together, they're fishing for some challenge. They're sticking out their leg. They want to trip you up. Very, very Mars squaring Pluto is that like come at me bro energy. Could be some like power trippy people around that, but you could definitely feel this squeeze on this day with Mars squaring Pluto. It is a very controlling energy. Okay, so just be mindful. Remember, you always want to be cool. You want to stay frosty. You let karma work its magic. Should you find yourself in a situation, because not everyone will, right? Everything depends on your chart. Everything depends on a lot of different factors, but you could feel a squeeze. Now, and with that said, there could be, Mars is physical energy too. Okay. So this is also a day where you could find yourself being just exhausted, like drained. So try not to like overdo things. Don't overexert yourself. Don't try to ride your, bike from Florida to, Alaska. Like it's probably not a great idea. Okay. So just avoid like overdoing things. Okay. Overexerting yourself on that day, on June 11th. Mars squaring Pluto. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm. And happy Father's Day too. That's going to be June 16th. Well, here in the U.S. I just spilled my tea all over me. That was on camera. Does anybody have any questions so far? Okay. Another day that is really challenging. Well, again, it really just depends on, how you handle a lot of these energies as well. Because you can go through squares, and I talk more about squares in your monthly forecast and how to see it. Okay. But with these squares, like, Father's Day, by the way, on the June 16th, we will have Venus and Mercury square Neptune, but it's Neptune. So it's not like, but in any case, squares affect everyone differently. They can be challenging, but you see that it's, we do have 7, and so there you could start feeling like a buildup around this time. But the 12th, the day after Mars squares Pluto, Mercury will square Saturn. So this is one where I would just be mindful about what you say. Things that you may want to say. Remember, Mercury is communication. But it is a time where you could just feel that Saturn likes to test you. Remember that, okay? Saturn likes to test you, and it can be like, make you work really hard for things. So there really could be something around this day that just could be a little bit testing, but mostly into like it could be communication, but it could be like you thinking about something like, how do I maneuver this wall? Like that may be a thing. Um, so bring a really big hammer on that day. Break down that wall. You got it. You got it. Okay. So I'm gonna save the rest for your monthly forecast. Those are really it. You see that we also have some really big shifts happening. So Mercury is leaving Taurus and moving into Gemini on June 3rd. Wow. That's Mercury is a ruling planet for Gemini. Therefore, remember I said communication is going to be a really big thing. Okay. Mercury does it, really well, and Gemini loves being in Gemini. Mercury's in its domicile. So that's only going to be 2 weeks. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. And then another big shift, as I mentioned, June 8th, Mars is moving into Taurus. So Mars is leaving Aries, moving into Taurus. That's going to be a big thing. Venus and Mercury, as I mentioned, on June 17th are leaving Gemini. They're moving into Cancer. And then we are leaving Gemini season on June 20th with the sun moving into Cancer. So you see that there's a lot of big shifts happening here in June. A lot of big shifts. But it's like a lot of it's going to feel seamless. It's really, really nice. I really like June. It's just those squares, just be, aware that these squares are going to happen. And they're just testing. They're testing. Um, and then you come out of it and then you see all these amazing things happening toward the end of the month. Um, and there's also like amazing things happening mid-month too. Even, in addition to these squares, there's what we have the sun conjuncting Mercury on June 14th. We have a Mercury Kazemi. We have a Mercury Kazemi. With very, very, very nice. It's a big refresh in the way that you're seeing things, thinking things. You could have like a brilliant, like brilliant ideas come around that time. That's just really, really sweet. The Venus Kazemi that's happening on June 4th. There's just so much happening. There's just so much happening in June. So yeah, June is definitely going to be a really, really, really great, refreshing month. Remember that we do have the squares like we didn't have in May, and they're going to be mid-month, but they're nothing you can't handle. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, and you again, it does say like with the Saturn squares, it just feels like you are going to be tested in that area, but then it's going to give you this time after the full moon, and then Saturn goes retrograde to like actually like reflect and reassess and like, okay, well, is this something that I want, and what are these lessons here that I can move forward with? You're going to be great. You're going to be fine. Anybody doing anything really fun for the full moon in Sagittarius? The Jupiter rules full moon that's happening on Thursday. That one's going to be really, really special. Okay, so I'm looking at, okay, so hello, Leslie. You're preparing for a weekend of camping on Thursday. That's great. That's going to be amazing. This full moon, oh my goodness. I would like to do it for hours, and I could do it for hours, but just whenever I see the full moon out my window, I go outside, I just sit there and I just like gaze at it for as long as I can. I love full moons. It only happens once a year. Once a year, once a month. Only happens once a month. So it's I love it. I love it. Maha, you're planting seeds. Good. Definitely. Always you always want to put that energy out there. Someone actually asked that in one of the comments, what that even means. It really means like, you know, manifesting and really setting intentions. And when I say energy, like I always talk about energy, it's like your frequency. It's, we're all made of energy. We all vibrate at a certain frequency. I try to just I try to bring it about as much as I can in everyone's readings, um, because it is so important. It's so important. That is the main thing. That's the main thing. Astrology, tarot, they're tools, but it's your energy, it's the actions you take, it's the realities that you create for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. Putting your energy out there. And there is that big difference. I think I mentioned it in one of your monthly forecasts, uh, or one of these live streams was, let's say there's a big difference between wanting something and, like, let's say this, new moon in Gemini that's coming up on June 6th, which is just so big. There's a difference between like just, sitting there and saying, okay, I want to make more money now. Difference between that and actually like feeling it in your bones, feeling it in your soul, really, really, taking that action to make things happen, setting intentions, communicating with the universe, letting the universe know exactly what you want, like really vibrating at high frequency. It's the same thing with, like I don't know, when you're wishing about something, like you have to really, really, really feel it. You have to really, really, really feel it. And that's what I'm talking about. Energy. It's like we're made of energy, and you want to just vibrate at this really, really high frequency. I had another analogy, but it just like slipped my mind. Um, Leslie, your mantra is you have everything I need at the moment. Yes, that's great. Mantras are so important too. And the reason why is because they work. They work. They work all the time. It's flipping your mindset as well. That is part of that energy I'm talking about is, sometimes, obviously there's low energy frequencies, and those frequencies are, self-doubt, self-sabotage, maybe even fear or, impatience and all those low energy frequencies. So you want to like remove yourself from those frequencies so that you can attract the things that you want for yourself with these higher frequencies, right? I remember working at oh gosh, it was like I was really young. I worked at a hotel, like the front desk. And as someone who is like an empath, like I just all these people walking in, like I could always feel their energies. And there was always a big difference between the ones that you could even just like you could feel, or maybe it's just me, but like the stress, and you could just your energies, your emotions, all that affect your body too. Everything works together, right? Mind, body, spirit. And so even like your, the way that they walked, and like if they were hunched over or if they were just like really tight, like you can feel that energy as opposed to someone who glided inside into the hotel and they were smiling and they were radiating. I mean, that's the difference. That's the difference. So really vibrating at this high frequency uh really does make all the difference. It really does. um and so it is, a lot of it's flipping your mindset too. It's flipping your mindset into not only it's and I say this sometimes when it's necessary in some of your readings, like there is a difference between like hoping and knowing and believing. So instead of saying like I hope this happens, you're giving room for it not to happen because you're hoping for it. When you say, I know this is going to happen, there's that confidence, there's your energy. That's you like commanding this. So, it's just really, it is like the power of the mind, but also the power of spirit, power of body as well. Like really being good to your body. And, I say it all the time, your body is sacred, your body is a temple. And, I try to bring that up to, there's only so much I can squeeze into. I don't know if, some of y'all, Leslie, like I've known you for years now. I'm sure like even like some of my readings would go over an hour because I would be so invested in telling you these things to, raise your energy, raise your frequencies and whatnot. So but it really is true. Even like the body, it reacts, your body reacts to a lot of things, but your body is just as crucial as like everything else. And it's like like it's I don't know, like if you for instance are stressing about something, you'll get a headache. Your body responds. If you're nervous about something, your stomach aches, your body responds. But if you have this like really being in touch with like your super conscious and really vibrating at your frequency, your body just feels so good and just responsive, and you have more energy. Anyway, I won't get into it too much, but y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. Um Leslie, that's really good. Oh, you have a beach you can walk on? That's amazing. That's amazing. I'm very jealous. I haven't I really want to go to the beach. We have a beach here in Brooklyn. I take Ruby sometimes, but it's like, I mean, it's a it's on the Hudson River, so it's not even, I take that. It's not even it's like a strip of sand. um but it is, but she does like it, and okay, I like it too. I like it too. I like seeing the views of Manhattan. um Maha, you say ground your energies. Yes. Leslie, for the first time in forever, felt so good. That's really great. I'm so glad. And I want you to continue to ride this wave, all these amazing, you know, energies that are coming from, the aspects that are happening with the planets. And it's such a great week. Remember from the get-go, I said May is the best month of 2024. It's even the luckiest month of 2024. And it's not saying all the other months are bad. It's just like there are so many great aspects that are happening in May that if you just really want to ride these waves, okay, into the future. Pluto already went retrograde. Saturn's going retrograde in June. Every planet starts going retrograde soon. Jupiter in Gemini is going to be, Jupiter goes retrograde. What is that? October. And so you really want to take advantage of now. You really want to take advantage of now, and then even June, there's some really great things happening, but really feel these energies. It's going to be really, really, really nice. um Maha, you asked, why do I have more than enough money to live the life I desire? Is my mantra. There you go. There you go. You manifest Maui. Manifestation works. It really does. It really does. And I say it all the time. You want to manifest every day. It's the more, I mean, when you do that every day, the more that you're aware, okay, the more that you're aware, the more that you're putting your energy out there. Awareness is just so, I think it's like very pivotal in terms of like how things happen for you. Having that awareness, okay, having that awareness and being in the moment. You always want to be in the moment. You want to live in the moment. Enlightenment is now. And so, sometimes I get so busy that, I mean, one of the reasons why well, I wouldn't even say I love doing your readings is because I do have my full time job. And so that's me working. And so my mind shifted. And so it is, that awareness comes where I am doing something that's very, spiritually active. And it's some days that are just so busy. I can completely just be, disconnected from that. But I always find the time. And another thing is that's really nice is, I have crystals everywhere in my place. And so that's always a really good thing. Like when you actually visually see it, like if you're going to like, I don't know, your kitchen or whatever, and you're in the, mindset of like, da, 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 da. When you actually see the crystal, you're like, oh yeah, let me just So it's really again, your body's important, your eyes are part of your body. So that's another Jimmy tip, I guess. Maha, you say now I'm working on biofuels contract with major energy company. Wow. Maha, you asked your super best day to sign a contract. Well, right, any right now, you're in the clear. You're good. You're absolutely good. I would just say until we hit those squares. So anytime before June 6th, but then the end of June. I already mentioned the Mercury trining Saturn. That's a great time. But yeah, you're in the clear. You're good. You're absolutely good. But you're a Taurus. Remember, right? I mean, we're about to move into Gemini season, so I would do things now. But when we move into Gemini season, that is your second house of money. So it's like you're good. You're good for anytime basically until just do it now. Um, Leslie, I haven't watched reading for a couple of weeks. I'm watching your daily. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad. I And then since August 2022, just before my mom passed, and you have been such a guiding force for me. Oh, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that that you were able to get things from this. And I try to do that. I try to like keep people inspired and empowered and just raise your frequencies. That is my, you know, number one goal is to just get everyone's like because even though this is such a big month. I mean, and I try to say this all the time. Like, life is not a Disney movie. Like, we are not eating cotton candy. Throughout. There's got to be challenges for everybody. Everybody's gonna have challenges. Like throughout, even through May. It's even though it is like the best month of 2024. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be, dancing with Shakira, on the moon. It means that there's still going to be like challenges that come up, but it's just still like there's more abundance coming in for May than there is like low energy frequencies. So it doesn't mean that there won't be challenges, right? It's you working with the challenges. But that's same thing with Jupiter moving into Gemini. It's just Geminis, for instance, and again, happy birthday, Gemini, starting tomorrow. Jupiter's moving into your sign for the first time in 12 years. Now, does that mean that your life is going to be picture perfect for an entire year? No, but will you have a lot more luck than you did since the past 12 years? Yes. Will you have more expansion? Yes. Will you have more prosperity? Yes. But everyone's still going to experience challenges. Like, for instance, these squares that are happening, like Geminis will feel it as much, as every other sign. But even still, it's challenges are what make us stronger. They are what make us grow. They are the reason why we have right manifestations, why we vibrate at this high frequency. Those are the things that make us become better versions of ourselves. Great. Wow, we just went deep there. Maha, you say I appreciate you and the sharing of your gift. Oh, thanks so much, Maha. I love doing this. I wanted to give you 100 pieces of carbon credit to set off your carbon footprint. Oh, okay, that's amazing. That's awesome. Yay. Thank you so much, Maha. Thanks so much for thinking of me. Come to Maui with Ruby. I would love to host the both of you. Yeah, it's so funny. I used to, so I've been to every island in Hawaii. It- Way back in the day when I lived in LA for a little bit, so it was easier for me to get to Hawaii. But now in New York City, it's like 13 hours. It's so crazy. I miss it. You're so lucky to live there. It's so amazing. Oh, that's so amazing. But yeah, I've been to like Molokai. Can you believe that? Star, you said crystals everywhere. That's really amazing. Just have them everywhere. I actually just bought another one. I'm like obsessed. Like but speaking of which, with like Jupiter being in Taurus, for the next four more days left, 6 more days for me being Aquarius, I was like a lot of like home stuff. Like, oh my goodness, like this past week alone, I felt more of that energy than I have like pretty much like You're in terms of my actual home, like I like never like started doing. I just started doing gardening, and I decided to do that, and I bought some new furniture. I bought a new bed, which was like a big thing for me. All in the past week. It's really crazy. I like a lot of home stuff. Anyway, so yeah, we're still feeling a lot of that Taurus energy. For every sign, it is different. Maha, you just happy birthday. Your birthday was on the 15th. That's amazing. That's amazing. Happy birthday. I'm very excited for you. Yeah, this is Taurus is you've got some gifts. The universe is leaving you. I really love that. Taurus is I have some really close Taurus friends who I've just seeing where they were even just a year ago and seeing where they are now. It's just so exciting and really special to see. So I'm very, very so happy birthday, Maha. Very, very happy for you for all these shifts that are happening for Tauruses on the 15th. Did anything happen on the 15th? I think Mercury moved into your sign. Yeah, Mercury moved into your sign. And then Leslie, you say, I've been making a candle. I've been making candles, copper and tanna, from my plants and copper wrapped crystals. Been such in a creative mode while I'm sick leave from work. I can't believe it. I'm loving it. Take it, absorb it. Take full advantage. That's amazing. And that really is, again, I love that. I love that. Um, it's so nice to be able to do those things, right? To do those things that even those little things, those small things that really are very inspiring for you, and you take that time out to it's just like even doing little things like that like puts you in that zone and it changes like your headspace and like even thinking about you can even I don't know it's meditative is what it is. There's little things that we do and that bring us a lot of joy. That's really sweet. That's really awesome. There's actually the yeah, there's I'm not gonna well that's I talk about something in your monthly forecast. That's for June. That's nice, but yeah, so your monthly forecast, I know they're gonna be posted a little early, as in this week instead of next week. And then I might post them on Thursday. They might be a little bit one day late. I'll let you know if that happens. It's been again just a lot going on. But hopefully it will stick to Wednesday. But if not, they will 1000% be Thursday on um the 23rd. Because then the next week then we can do the I talk about the first week of June, and again, it is loaded. There's so much happening. There's so much happening. Okay. Does anybody have any last final questions? Anything that you want to say? Any questions for me? Leslie, you say, is June a good month for me? My daughter turns 21 on the 16th. Oh, Gemini. Amazing. Um, you're Libra, right, Leslie? Well, if you, I mean, like, I think that I remember you being a Libra, but yeah, I mean, like, I mean, all these energies with Geminis, obviously like fellow air sign. That's just really nice. It's really going to be really nice for you. But it feels like that, and I talk about this in your monthly forecast, but you will definitely feel a lot of, okay, without giving too much away, but like, yeah, a lot of career activity toward like the end of mid June. But for Libras, I'm just gonna say it. You had your reading was really insane. It was definitely like a rare spread. So a lot of actually the majority of y'all had like crazy great, like best spread of all time. Like just wait until yeah, Libra is going to be a big thing. Or your reading is pretty big. Is pretty big. Okay, and very very like 2 thumbs up. I'm not on the cusp, Virgo, Libra. I don't know my time of birth. You've applied for a job, a relocation. Yeah, you're gonna again. You listen. You're gonna have a big shift toward the middle of June. I mean, all that energy concentrated, and remember, it's spilling over into July too. So from like June to July, but yeah, yeah. Keep putting your energy out there. You're on the cusp, Virgo, Libra. You don't know what time. Oh, um, yeah. Yeah, you could even move. Let me see. Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, you can move. I want to tell you about this full moon in Capricorn, but I'm gonna wait for y'all to really, really absorb it in your monthly forecast. But yeah, if you're Libra, then this full moon in Capricorn's in your fourth house of home. So yeah, you could definitely move, especially in July. All right, so I thanks so much, y'all. I gotta go eat. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten all day, but I'm almost done with your June forecast. They are very long. I'm trying to keep them a little bit shorter so they're not super long, and so I can talk more about them in your weekly readings. But thanks so much, y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. It's gotta be listen, and also remember what I said. So many great aspects and energies that are happening this week that I want you to take advantage of. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Leslie, great to see you. Your brother is a Capricorn. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, there's possibly some things but you'll see your forecast. You're going to like it. You're going to like it. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll see y'all next month. All right. Bye, y'all. Okay. Bye bye.